What's going on, everybody? Here we are back. Day number 33 of the cut. The cut's been cutting. I'm actually pretty hungry today. So we're configuring maybe a high day back into the equation. But today we're going in the gym and we're hitting back. So we're back with back. I did, Saturday, I did a leg day. Friday was off. Thursday was arms. So I went 3 days, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, and now we're back in the gym. So we'll be going back at least today and tomorrow, but the hope would be that we go today, tomorrow, and the day after, and even the day after that. We just try to really exhaust the body, get the expenditure up, and then refeed ourselves. So that's the story today, though, is back. We have an emphasis on fitness. So we're gonna start with rowing movements. We're gonna start with barbell row, dumbbell row, cable row, and then we'll do a pullover. I like the one arm pullover. Transition to some pull downs, then maybe some rear delt, some traps, and that'll be the day. So we're excited. We're gonna go in the gym 2 hours and give it all we have with the goal of burning around 1,200 calories. Good amount. So as for the diet and the deficit, the last ever since last Wednesday, I've been at least 1,000 calorie deficit. Some days have been 1,500. Some days have been as much as, 1,750, according to the Fitbit, of course. So you always have to configure in a range for the possibility of error. I usually take about 30%. So give or take, we've been around 1,000 calorie deficit, and that's been day after day after day. And a lot of the days it's been more than that. So I'm hungry. My energy is a little bit lower, but I am raring to get back in the gym, honestly, because I had yesterday off. My central nervous system fatigue has recovered, but my bodily energy level is a little bit lower just due to the fact that I'm hungry. I could use some more calories to feed the muscle tissue that I am breaking down and repair it to build the muscle. My body wants to build the muscle. Right now we're shedding fat. So it's okay. We're going to take it with what it is and maneuver as best we can. And the plan, even if I do a high day, the thing is these days I'm not cheating on the diet. I'm doing a high day and reducing the fat content that I'll be consuming in those high days. So I'm thinking about maybe doing sushi, but instead of getting rolls, I'll get all nigiri and use soy sauce, that type of thing. So we're upping the carbohydrates, keeping protein involved, and minimizing the amount of fat that we are consuming. Because, I hate to call anything the enemy, but as for a cut, fat is not your friend. Now for a bulk, it's good because it's easier to get your calories in. If you consume fat, you just have to realize that that's fat you'll have to be removing later on when you cut. So in the bulk that I just did, I had a lot of fat. I ate pretty much, a lot of what I wanted. I had good food too, always kept my protein high, but I was eating a lot. And now it's time to reduce that, bring it back. And we're already on day 33. I have a diet log. So, when you do any type of diet, you want to give yourself a few extra weeks. So let's say you have a photo shoot in May. The ideal timeline is about 12 weeks. I would say give yourself 14 weeks because the first 2 weeks you're going to try to get in your diet and most likely your adherence isn't going to be 100%. Now, on that third week and that fourth week, your adherence starts to increase. And then day by day, you start to build the momentum of, well, now I don't even want to cheat on the diet because look at all this progress I've accumulated. And you really get a singular focus. Your train gets on the track and it gets rolling full bore towards the destination. So that's where I'm at on my day 33. The first 20 days or so, I had the first 12 days, solid adherence, right? Next 3 after that, because I had a cheat meal, and then that kind of rolled into a couple others. The next 3, I gave myself an X or non-adherent to the diet. Then I got rolling again, and then the next weekend came, 2 non-adherence to the diet. All in all, we've had 33 days. This is the 33rd day, so I'm working on day 33. This will be an adherence day. But I've done 25 days where I've stuck to strict adherence of the diet. And whether if it was a training day, that means 1,500 to 2,000 calorie deficit. If it's a non-training cardio only day, that means about a 750 calorie deficit. And then I've had 7 non-adherent days where I didn't track. Well, I tracked the protein intake, but other than that, I ate pretty much what I want. And so far, with that whole idea coming to a head, we've lost 18 pounds. If we take away the water weight, which is about 10 pounds from the 246, about 8 pounds have been lost in 32 or so days. So I think that is a pretty good indication of moving forward. And the thing is, the more you move forward, like I just mentioned, the more solid you get in your footing when it comes to making the correct choices. It just becomes second nature. It becomes who you are and what you do. And if you do something else, you feel like you're sinning against your own soul in a way. So that's just the way to put it. But anyways, today I am feeling a high day. And, I'm actually going to be moving from Houston. So my setup, my studio will be a little bit different. We'll probably take a few days off of filming coming up later this week into the weekend. I'll still be strictly on the diet and doing the workouts, but we'll have to figure out where the filming's going to take place and how everything's going to happen. New gym. I'm going to have to get into a new gym, probably maybe a couple of gyms so I can move around a little bit. We'll detail that out. But the bottom line is today, the thought is I'm going to raise my calories by including sushi, but instead of getting the Fuji roll, the volcano roll, a couple Phillies, I'm going to get nigiri, tuna nigiri, ocean trout nigiri, and soy sauce, wasabi, and just up my carbohydrate intake. That is the plan, the goal. And alongside that, I'm also going to have my venison, rice, my normal diet. So my normal calories will be the same. It'll be about 284 grams of protein, 290 grams of carbs. And then on top of that, I'll have just, 1,500, maybe 1,000 calories of nigiri sushi. But that's not even a fully determined thing. The thing that's going to happen is, I'm a little hungry. I was very hungry this morning. Now, after I've had my breakfast, I'm not as hungry. But after I hit this gym session, of course, I'm going to be very hungry. I will have as much of the venison and rice that I want. I have 2 pounds of venison with 150 grams of rice and vegetables. I'll have as much as that as much of that as I want. And then we'll see where my hunger levels are. We'll play it by ear and we'll listen to the body. The only thing that I can't do is massively increase my fat content. And if I am to increase the carbohydrates, I just have to dictate the rest of the diet around that. So as we get further into the diet, so today's day 33, and we're coming up on an average of 2 high days a week. When we get to day 77, it might be 1 high day a week. When we get to day 90, we might not have had any high days since day 77 to finish out the diet. Or the other way it could go is I'm going too fast, I'm getting too lean, I need to fill back out. We'll implement 2, 3 high days. It's all about how your body responds, and we're doing this in real time, especially with my own body. So I'm watching my own body in real time respond and then dictating what I need to do off of that. But sometimes that's difficult because you have cravings, you're in your own head, and you think you want something that you don't typically need. Or maybe you should push a little harder and you feel like you should take a high day. So it's all in the calculus. You have to try to, if you're doing this yourself, you have to try to remove yourself. If you feel like you can't remove yourself and control yourself, you've never been lean, you've never been able to, get down to 10, 9% body fat, you need to just follow the plan. Now, if you have some experience, you can play around with things, see how it works. And if it doesn't work, then you just need to have more. Let's say you do a high day and you ate way too much and you feel like you got fat. Maybe next week you don't do your high day. You just do 2 weeks with no high day, and then you do a high day on the end of that 2-week period. So that's the thought. I'm getting ready to get in the zone. It's time to go in and go hard. That never changes. That doesn't change. We go in the gym and we go as hard as we can. And today it's one of the best body parts to hit because it is taxing on the entire system, thus meaning we're going to be burning a large amount of calories. We're hitting back and we're going to hit it as hard as superhumanly possible for me. So we'll see you in there. Let's go. All right, first up today, we got the barbell row. We're going to warm up here with 135 and then working sets 275 just like last time. So here we go. All right, that's the warm up. We'll try to get the top sets a little cleaner this time. All right, here we go. First top set, 275. We did this last time, but the reps were a little bit loose. We're going to try to keep them as tight as possible. Just move the weight. Obviously, we're getting into the workout, so we're going to go move the weight strongly as possible before we get into our isolation movements. But here we go. Number one. Oh. All right, get set. Run it back. All right, here we go. Number two. Better than the first. Let's go. Woo. All right. All right, so here we are, number three at 275. And this is going to be the last one here before we go down to 225 and get some stricter reps in. So we're going to give this every little bit of energy we have and then move on. So here we go. Ooh, come on. Yeah. Ooh. All right, let's go down. All right, we're going one more set here. Last set, we dropped the weight to 225, and we're going to go for 12. Feeling the squeeze, feeling the muscle work, and then we'll do something else. So here we go. There we go. All right, so next up we got dumbbell row, and I was going to do 130, but unfortunately there are no 130s. 125 or 135. So I figured that I would get better reps in with 125 rather than going for 135 and getting crappy reps. So maybe in a time or two we'll go up to 135, but for now 125 is plenty. And the goal is 4 sets here. Got to get 4 sets in each arm. Here we go. Woo, here we go. What's the one? All right, we're going on number 2. Got a great pump.
Feeling a little fatigued, but what I'm going to emphasize on these last few sets here is really opening up the lat. I feel like I let go a little bit, or I guess I hold on the eccentric part of the motion. I want to really open that up. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Woo! Woo! All right, better. Let's watch the film. All right, here we go. Number 3. Come on, animal. All right, low cable. All right, feeling good. Next, we're going to low cable row. And I was watching Sam's last back day, and he actually doesn't like the close grip handles for this. And I respect that because it doesn't hit as much upper back, traps rear delts, and more so for the lower back. And that's the reason why I'm doing it after dumbbell row and barbell row, is because I want to finish off the lower back around the ribs before we eventually move up to the traps. So I understand that he doesn't do as many sets, his volumes are a little bit lower. I do more exercises, but it's all to hit each muscle properly and give it the proper stimulation so we can build that aesthetic physique, especially when we're cutting, we're trying to dice ourselves down. But I got 205 on here, and I'm going to go till failure. So it could be 10, could be 15, could be 20. Probably won't be 20 because it's going up. Last time I did 190, I think. So just going to do 1 or 2 sets to failure, then we'll move on to width. Here we go. It was 20. All right, let's go ahead and bump that up. We'll do 1 more set. All right, one last thing before we get into this last set here on low cable row. There's a distinct difference in between doing straight sets, which a majority of my workouts are straight sets to 12, and all out as many reps as you can till failure sets. Distinct difference. And I think when you're on a cut, you want to do less all out to failure sets because it sets you up for more risk of injury. You want to minimize your injury risk because that's the number one enemy of bodybuilders. So most of my sets, as you see, they are heavy. 12 is almost failing, but I'm never distinctly failing or doing as many reps as I can till failure. I do it on some sets. But I think that the first way to do it, the 4 sets of 12, is more of a tax on your cardiovascular system. You're going to burn more calories. The second, all the way till failure, is definitely intense, still very intense, as intense as it gets, but the intensity is on the muscle. And that's important when you're bulking. You have calories to keep your muscles safe, but I think in a cutting context, it's smarter to do straight sets, 4 sets of 12, where you could probably get a 13th, but you don't really want to. And if you can, go up and wait. So that's my thought process. Either way, I just did 1 set to failure at 205. I'm about to do another till failure at 220. So you also want variance in your training. I just think if you're on a cut, you should do less sets till failure. If you're on a bulk, the majority of your sets should be till failure. That's a big difference. And I want to make sure that you guys understand that. If you're on a bulk, the majority of your sets should be till failure. You got to change your training based on what you're doing and your diet. That's why the diet's most important. But let's get to it. Many reps as we can. 220. Let's go. All right. It's good there. Let's go next. All right, next we're doing one arm pullover. So we're going to take the cable like this and pull behind our back, really feeling the squeeze. And one thing that's different between a set in which you're going to absolute failure and a set where you only have 12 reps to get the most you can out of the exercise, you can adjust things like tempo and the amount of squeeze that you get at the bottom of the rep in order to make the entire set harder. So you know you only have 12 reps, you got to get everything you can out of it. That'll make sure you're condensing the work in those 12 reps. When it's the failure, you achieve the same thing, you just do more reps with a little less mind muscle activation. You still have it, it's still there, but just a little less. So we're going to do 12 of these straight sets. We'll see how many we need. All right, we'll do one more like that. Okay, last set here, we're really going to milk it, and then we're going to get to some width. This is kind of a width exercise, but it works the entire lat. From a perspective that's more pulling, hence pull over. Next, we're going to do pull downs. So before we get there, let's finish up here. Last one. Let's get to it. Wow. Ah. There we go. Enough of that. All right, next we're moving into width exercises. We're going to start with pull down. We're going to start with a warm up at 145. Then we're going to pyramid up. And I want to get to 220, but we'll see because obviously we've expended a lot of energy doing the other exercises. So regardless, let's get to it. Move up. Ah. Send it. Ah. All right. All right, 205 moved well, but I think I'd be best served to go down. I'm going to do 175, really focus on the contraction and hitting the muscle as much as possible. And then we'll go into something else. Last one here. Here we go. There we go. Good there. Ooh. All right, next up we got close grip pull downs, last pull down movement. And we're working on the area under the scapula, under the shoulder blade. So let's get it. Ah. 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 There we go. One more like that. Okay. Last one here. 15 felt good. Try to go for that again. Good reps. Good clean reps. Feeling the width. Feeling it in upward motion. That's what we're thinking about. The lats. All lats. Ah. 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 That's it for that. We're toast. Woo. All right, next up we're doing a traditional pullover with a straight bar. Focus on opening up the lat and pulling with the serratus. A little bit of a different way to hit the pullover. We'll do 4 sets of this at 12. Here we go. Ah. 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 All right. right, good with those. Get some water and do something else. All right, finish off the back. We're gonna return to 2 rowing movements, this being the first. Doing an underhand pull with 235, it's going up. We're probably gonna do 2 sets here, all we can do, but I don't really wanna go over 12. We'll see if we get there. We are going up in weight and we are a little fatigued. So this is the total lat workout just to finish it off. Here we go. Ah. 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 There we go. One more like that. All right, here we go. Last one here. Ah. 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 All right. Here we go. One more here. One more row. All right, here we are. Back at the hammer strength row machine. And we're targeting the traps and the rear delts here. So we're going to go overhand. We're going to do as many as possible. Hopefully 12. We have 315 on. We're going to do 2 sets before we get into some isolation. So let's do it. Let's run it. Ah! 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 Oh, that was maximum. All right, we'll do one more like that. All right, so first set was a bear. We're gonna get it again, same weight, but I decided I'll do a back off set. Just to really drill in the muscle memory. So anyways, 315 again, let's get it. Ah! 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 We about had it. Let's drop it. Let's go ahead and do a drop set. How about that? There we go. Ah! 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 All right. That's enough for rows. Let's isolate these rear delts. Okay, to cook the rear delts, we have cable, unilateral cable exercise. Going up a little bit, do 20. Last time we did 17 and a half. We want to isolate the rear delt here. Make sure we get everything out of it. Goal is 4 sets of 12. So here we go, number 1. Ah. 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 There we go. All right, traps, and we're done. Okay, so after 5 minutes, felt like 10, of searching for the necessary box, Finally found it. So we're going to do the usual 4 sets, 15 under or 15 over, 15 under. Do over first, then the next set we'll do under first, and finish off the traps, and that'll be the day. So let's just get them pumped, and then go home and eat some food. Here we go. Ah. 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 Cool. Ah. 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 Another back day in the books.
What's going on, guys? Here we are back in the kitchen post back day, and tremendous workout. I really got a good workout in. I thought that the barbell rows moved better than they did the last time. I thought the dumbbell rows definitely moved better. They moved a lot better. Dumbbell rows, I wanted to go 130. They didn't have the dumbbells. They went from 125, 135, 140, 145, 150. So we'll get up to the 135. We're getting closer. But I do think that the dumbbells move like butter. I really locked in the stretch. The first set was so-so, but once I watched it back on film, I saw what I needed to do and I accomplished that. So that was good. Obviously the one arm pullover was good. The low row was good. I went up on that. That was really the lift that I maximized the PR aspect of the lift. That 2 sets there, I went hard. I think I had 20 and 15. That felt really good. Then, of course, the pullover is good. We went to some width movements. Those were good. The rear delt movement, the high pull was good. Everything was good. Really felt like we crushed the back. I feel great about it. And now we're good. I had my meal. I had a shower. And the best part about lifting early, and it's kind of a paradox because I'll preface it with this. The best part about lifting late is you have all your meals in before you go to the gym, and so you have the most energy to train. Well, the best thing about lifting early is you have all those meals to eat after you train, and especially on a cut. I think in a bulking context, it's better to lift later in the day. In a cutting context, it's better to lift earlier in the day because, I have 2 pounds of venison and 150 grams of rice that I get to eat the rest of the day. So to be honest, I've already finished 3/4 of it just post workout. I've been hungry and we went in and taxed the muscle. We stimulated the muscle for growth, needs to refuel. So that's the story there. Next up, we have cardio. It's about 3:42. It's not about, it's exactly 3:42. We're gonna go do an hour of cardio and feel good about ourselves. Everything's adding up, doing well. And we're just gonna keep on rolling on the roller coaster that is the cut. And you gotta keep on keeping on. It's all about consistent action, chopping away, and you do that long enough, you'll get to be exactly where you wanna be. So the preamble was pretty long today. This post-amble, if you wanna call it that, is not too bad, but we're hungry. We are definitely hungry. The diet is hungry. And I think that one thing to remember when you are hungry on a diet is where you want to be, where you've been before, whether you've been cut and you remember what it takes to get there, or you've never been cut before and you want to use that as motivation to become the best version of yourself. Just remember why you're doing it. Remember your goals. And I think that makes it a little bit easier. And another thing I want to touch on, I didn't do a reel or a TikTok. I didn't film any of my sets vertically today. I wish I would have. I just kind of forgot. I was in the zone with the workout. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like I want to tone that down. I don't know if I want to bail yet. I think after I'm done with the cut, it makes sense to do more of those because I'll have a more impressive physique. But we'll play it by ear. We'll play it workout by workout. Next is chest and shoulders. Maybe we'll get one in there, maybe not. We'll see. But I'm excited to get to this walk. It's a beautiful day. It's probably, I don't know the temperature. It looks like it's 70-ish degrees, clear skies. It's going to be beautiful. So that's what we're up to. I appreciate you guys watching. We will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow it will be chest and shoulders, and we'll get it in. We'll go as hard as we can. I think it's probably, I'll have to check, but I think it might be shoulders and chest. I think shoulders might be the emphasis. Regardless, we're going to go in and give it all we got. We'll detail that out tomorrow. But like I said, stay tuned because we're going to be taking some time off. There's going to be a brief hiatus from the filming. I'm still obviously going to be in the gym and be on my diet, going as hard as I can. But there will be a brief hiatus in filming while I figure out some changing circumstances. But we'll keep you updated every step of the way. Don't worry about that. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We're building muscle. We're cutting fat. And you're along for the whole ride. So again, I love you. See you tomorrow.